anything worthwhile, one must follow some kind of way or method. The early Christians were known as followers of the way, doubtless because Jesus taught, "I am the way and the truth and the life." The man Jesus did not mean that he was the way, but he pointed to the Christ, the perfect spiritual man within him, as the way. And it was his great desire that all men understand their unity with this perfect one. Jesus Christ, I feel sure, did not wish to be worshipped as a personal man in a historical setting. He yearned to have all men join him in a glorious reunion in an understanding of the spiritual sonship of all. God is infinite love, infinite harmony, infinite wisdom, infinite peace, infinite life. But these wonderful qualities are focused and directed into the human race through the Christ ideal. It makes no difference whether or not you call this ideal Christ. It is God's perfect thought of man, which existed long before the Christ was manifested in Jesus of Nazareth. He is that in each of us which makes it possible for us to live at all, and which calls us to a realization of our better nature. The way leading from you to God's kingdom cannot be measured in feet and inches. It is a way of the mind and heart. The way to God's kingdom is built upon all faith, understanding, and love. Remember that God needs your cooperation. His love and His power must find an outlet through the thoughts, words, and deeds of men. Men's prayers establish contact between God's infinite supply and their finite needs. God's creations are in the realm of spirit, and all are good and perfect. It is man's job to translate these good potentialities into usable form. We can train our thoughts so they will promote God's original plan in the earth. Since God pronounced everything good that He made, should we not cooperate by also calling things good? Life is filled with what we choose to put into it. There is a spiritual law that operates in the affairs of all men, which says, "You reap as you sow." The seeds you sow are your thoughts and words, and your experiences that follow them are the harvest you reap. Good thoughts and good words produce good experiences. You live in two worlds, the world God made and the world you are making. God's world is good, harmonious, prosperous, and peaceful. It is overflowing with good things, but the average man's world has weak spots in it, for he calls his world both good and evil. Nevertheless, man cannot change God, no matter what he calls the things God has made. God's world is here all about us and within us. It is heaven on earth. It will be revealed to anyone who has faith enough to enter into it through the Christ door within him. God's riches and good things are actually right at hand. The only obstacle that stands between us and them is our personal will. There is enough substance in spirit for everybody, but to use this substance, one must make room for it in himself. He must give up the little selfish things in his nature to make a place for the greater things of Christ. He must be willing to give up doubt, fear, greed, and contention. He must relax his feverish hold on the little things of life and take hold of faith in God. He must practice putting his affairs in the hands of the Father and then resting in the consciousness that God is taking care of them for him. Remember, Jesus promises, "All things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive." Faith clothes ideas with substance. Faith is like a magic wand. He who possesses it speaks the word, and the sick are healed. Peace is restored to the discordant. The poor are prospered, and the sad are made joyful. Faith is more than presumption. It is stronger than credulity. It carries one far beyond prospect and change. It outstrips wishes and wins the goal of the high calling. Faith transcends hope and fulfills expectation. Jesus promised, "He that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do." This promise is for you and me and everybody. What are we doing about it? In using electricity, we must see that the wire bringing it into our house is connected continually with the powerhouse. Prayer is the wire that connects us with the great powerhouse of God's life and love. Prayer is practiced not for the purpose of changing God's mind or influencing Him to do something that He does not have a mind to do, but for the purpose of changing us, opening our consciousness so that His Spirit may freely enter our life, strengthening our faith, cultivating our love. God cannot be changed, but our mind can be changed and lifted up. Therefore, we need to be constant in prayer in order that more of God may enter into our life. It is the conscious receiving of God into our life that solves our problems. It is good to give thanks always, because by giving thanks, you open the way for more of God's goodness to become manifest in your life. God has already given you everything He has, and you can have as much of it as you can use by thanking Him for the things you desire and accepting them on faith. All things are possible with God, and since God is within you, all things are possible to you. Christ in you, the hope of glory, is the true foundation of your being. In God there is no beginning, no end, no failure, no unhappiness, no discord, no anger, no weakness, no untruth, no lack, no sickness, no death. In God is all success, happiness, harmony, love, strength, truth, abundance, health, and life. All that the Father has is at your disposal. Now is the acceptable time. Now is the time to bring the kingdom of heaven into the earth. Now is the time to be happy. Live now in the knowledge that you are a perfect child of God.